Hi guys, welcome to our blog Interval Times. This is Julie and today I'm going to speak about the Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle, also known as the Devil's Triangle or Hurricane Alley, is a loosely defined region in the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean where a number of aircraft and ships are said to have disappeared under mysterious circumstances. Reports of unexplained occurrences in the region date to the mid-19th century. Some ships were discovered completely abandoned for no apparent reason, others transmitted no distress signals and were never seen or heard from again. Aircraft have been reported and then vanished, and rescue missions are said to have vanished when flying in the area. However, wreckage has not been found, and some of the theories advanced to explain the repeated mysteries have been fanciful. Today let's talk about few such incidents. Year 1492 Voyage of Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus, while on his voyage with 3 sailing ships and 90 men across the Atlantic in search of the New World, reported in his ship's logbook about a large fire flame falling into the sea, unusual compass readings and strange lights. Year 1909 SV Spray. SV Spray was a derelict fishing boat refitted and rebuilt as a 35 feet yawl by Joshua Slocum and used by him to complete the first ever single-handed circumnavigation of the world in 3 years between 1895 and 98. Spray was built in such a way that it was not only super sturdy and balanced, but it also had the remarkable self-steering ability, could take up almost any wind conditions and still be on course for hours or even days with her helm lashed. On November 14, 1909, Slocum set sail again for a much shorter run through the Bermuda Triangle from Vineyard Haven bound for Venezuela. Neither he nor the boat SV Spray were ever seen again. Several explanations were suggested for the loss, including a massive gale that might have eventually sunk the boat, or a large steamer would have crushed the boat unknowingly, or Slocum would have himself disappeared with the boat to avoid an unhappy family life and live elsewhere, etc. Slocum wasn't officially declared dead until 1924. Year 1918 U.S.S. Cyclops. This 540 feet Navy ship's disappearance resulted in the single largest loss of life in the history of the United States Navy. It went missing with a crew of 309 and large cargo of manganese ore, sometime after March 4, 1918 and after departing the island of Barbados for Baltimore. It was not heard from again, neither any debris was found. Year 1945 Flight 19. The 5 training aircraft of TBM Avenger bombers of US Navy with an experienced captain and 13 trainee pilots went missing on Deck 5, 1945 on a routine training mission after they took off from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. They were scheduled to go due east from Florida Naval Base for 123 nautical miles, then north for 73 nautical miles, and then get back over a final 120 nautical mile route that would return them to the naval base. But strangely they never came back. Although no official explanation was available to the real cause of the incident, most likely the planes were lost, as was evident from the radio transcripts, and eventually ran out of fuel and had to ditch into the sea when it was dark and the sea was foaming. Year 1948 Tudor Star Tiger. A Tudor Marquis aircraft disappeared in Bermuda Triangle shortly before it was to land in Bermuda Airport en route from Santa Maria in the Azores in January 1948. The investigating board could not assign any specific cause to this disappearance. Low fuel and engine failure were unlikely reasons. The aircraft should have had enough fuel to fly for 1 more hour even on reaching Bermuda, and the plane had redundancy of multiple engines. Could it be that the aircraft was flying at such an unusual low altitude, of only 2,000 feet instead of the usual flying altitude of 20,000 feet, in order to avoid the strong headwind, that the pilot and the crew actually forgot their actual altitude at the time of descent and perhaps flew the plane into the sea? Year 1954 – Flight 441 disappearance. The Flight 441, a super Constellation naval airliner, disappeared during its transatlantic flight on October 30, 1954 to Azores while carrying 42 persons on board. It was carrying two powerful radio transmitters but did not send out an SOS. Year 1968 Scorpion. U.S.S. Scorpion, SSN 589, was a nuclear-powered submarine of United States Navy that disappeared in Bermuda Triangle in May 1968. Although the real cause is not known to date, the possibilities of the Scorpion was torpedoed by another Soviet submarine, an internal torpedo getting activated that exploded the Scorpion, or a waterline failure in the engine room are some of the explanations that have been debated as the cause. Year 1980 SS Poet. SS Poet, a 522-feet bulk cargo carrier, left from a port in Philadelphia for Egypt on October 24, 1980. The next routine radio transmission reporting its position was expected 2 days after it left the port, but no signal was received. It was lost in the sea. 2005 and 2007. On two separate incidents, two Piper power planes disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle area. One on June 20, 2005 between Treasure Cay Island of Bahamas and Fort Pierce of Florida. There were 3 persons on board. The second incident took place on April 10, 2007 near Berry Island. The plane flew into a Category 6 thunderstorm and lost altitude. Only the pilot was on board and no passengers. 2008 Britain Norman Islander. A Britain Norman Islander, also known as three-engine Trilander, took off from Santiago for New York on December 15, 2008 at around 3 p.m. with 12 persons on board. After about 35 minutes from takeoff, the aircraft fell off the radar. A massive search operation was launched by United States Coast Guards, but the aircraft was never traced again. Its last known location was about 4 miles west of West Caicos Island. No debris could be found. 2015 SS El Faro. On October 1, 2005, the cargo ship SS El Faro became another tragic victim of Bermuda Triangle, the worst in over 30 years. The 790-feet container ship departed Jacksonville, Florida, bound for Puerto Rico with 33 crew members on board, carrying large number of containers, trailers and vehicles. A tropical storm hundreds of miles away, developed into fierce hurricane, dashed down towards El Faro, and started circling around the ship. 2017 Mitsubishi M.U-2B40. The small private aircraft Mitsubishi M.U-2B40 with twin engine disappeared in Bermuda Triangle on May 15, 2017 while flying from Puerto Rico, a corner of the triangle, to South Florida. Air traffic control at Miami lost radar contact with the aircraft at 2:10 p.m. and the plane simply vanished with 4 passengers on board apparently when there was no weather warnings. However, after an extensive search over a vast sea area around the Bahamas, the Coast Guard had located a small floating debris that they believed had matched with that of the lost MU-2B. Thanks for watching the video. Please like and subscribe the channel.